everyone, welcome back to Cheese and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I'm teaching you how to stop wasting time on things which don't fulfill you. If you are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So, a lot of us waste time. I'm saying this because I do. I waste time, and I've heard from other people, how can I stop wasting time? And especially wasting time on things which aren't fulfilling, because when we spend time doing things which just don't fulfill us or which are actively harmful or detrimental to us, then it just feels bad, guys. It feels bad because you've spent all this time and you're thinking, I wasted that time because I've ended up not any better off, or I feel like I'm back at square one, or I've ended up worse off. How do we stop doing this? Right, the first thing I want you to ask yourself is to determine whether these things are necessary to achieve goals which do fulfill you. Now, this is easier said than done, obviously. So how do we understand what a fulfilling goal is? I've made a lot of other videos on how to determine your goals, so check those out if you like. But basically, the question to ask yourself is this leading me to be the person that I envision myself to be? Okay, how does this goal make me more of myself? Okay, and if you feel that working on something is taking you away from who you are as a person, who you are at your core, who you want to be, your ideal self, your best self, the person that you think, wow, that's me, and I am really happy and comfortable in my own skin, I'm really content, I really feel like I am my most authentic person right now, okay? So is your goal pushing you towards that, or is it taking you away from that? I'll give you an example. So I started kind of a health journey in 2024. I'd had some health scares in 2023, 2024, which really made me take a long look at my habits and my life and thought, okay, I need to focus on my health. And in my mind, I was this super healthy, super fit person. I was not, guys. I was not. And so I had this false mental image, and I needed to work to really put in the hours to make sure that my reality matched up with my self-perception, okay? So that was an example of me kind of pushing myself more towards being the person that I envisioned myself being, okay? So ask yourself, are these things that I'm doing pushing me towards goals that are pushing me towards being the person that I want to be, that I envision myself being, my ideal self, my best self, okay? So you will have a gut feeling about whether the answer is yes, whether the answer is no. And that is the key question to ask yourself, okay? So now we have our answers about whether the answer is yes or whether the answer is no. And if the answer is yes, then set an end date, okay? Because if you are working on something that is necessary to get to be where you want to be, but it's not fulfilling you, and I'll give you an example. Now, disclaimer, I loved my degree, okay? But there were aspects of my degree which really burned me out. And although it was pushing me towards being the person that I wanted to be, and I knew that I absolutely 110% wanted to get that degree, and I was going to get that degree, and I did get that degree, I was very burned out at the end. And there were aspects of it which I just had to sort of push through in order to get to where you want to be. And that's pretty much any goal, to be honest. But if you are working something which will ultimately fulfill you but doesn't fulfill you right now, then you need to set an end date, okay? Because you can't keep working on something that fulfills you and burning out without some kind of end in sight, okay? So for me, that was graduation. I knew exactly when I was going to graduate. I knew what my deadlines were, and so on and so forth. And I knew that if I get to this point and I achieve this thing, then I will be at a place where I've achieved the goal that fulfills me, and I can stop doing this thing which doesn't entirely fulfill me, okay? So if the answer is yes, and you need to do this thing which doesn't fulfill you, set an end date, okay? Because that will massively help you with motivation. It will massively help you with burnout, because you're this is temporary. I know exactly when this is going to come to an end. All right, and if the answer is no, if you are working on something which doesn't fulfill you and which will never fulfill you because it's not pushing you towards a goal that is actually fulfilling, then remove these things from your schedule and from your life. So I'm trying to think of an example. I'm struggling to think of an example here because this is actually something that I've got quite efficient at, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I have got quite efficient at going through this process and looking at things and being oh, that's not going to fulfill me, you are gone. The next day I've dropped it, it's gone. But if you have something that, doesn't fulfill you, remove it from your schedule and from your life, because that is just wasted energy, okay? And yes, we don't want to fall for the sunk cost fallacy, like I've put so much effort into this, I might as well. No, okay? If it doesn't fulfill you, and you know, you're aware that it's going to be a lot of effort and it's never going to fulfill you, out, gone, okay? This applies a lot to like relationships and friendships. Like I've had to, you know, remove people from my life because I knew the energy that I was putting into those dynamics was literally just sort of me throwing energy into a black hole of nothing, which was draining me all the time and was really bad for me. So remove them from your schedule in your life. And I'm not saying like just give up at the first sign of trouble. Those were things that I'd like worked on for ages, like a long time, months, years. So if things don't fulfill you and you can't see them ever fulfilling you, it's okay to remove them from your schedule, remove them from your life, stop giving them effort, in the bin, okay? In the bin. The next thing I want to talk about is automation, okay? Automation is key. Some things are boring, okay? And we don't want to do them. So for example, if I had to manually invest every month, I would forget, okay? I would be like, this is annoying, this is a hassle, this is a waste of my time. Although investing is something that is really important to me to achieve my financial goals, to become more like independent, financially secure. I've made videos on like how to invest and so on and so forth. So go and check out my like financial videos if you'd like. But yeah, no, my automation in like my financial life is really important because I have my like direct debit set up to invest, okay? Like my investing app is like, I don't even think about it. I check my investments like whenever I think about it, like maybe every 3 months, maybe probably like once a month, to be honest. But I don't think about it, okay? My investments are set up and they go automatically. And you don't have to be like super loaded to invest. Like I invest a small amount, but it's automated. And if I had to think about that and do it manually, it would just not get done. And I'd be like, this is boring, you know, this is annoying, this is taking up my mental space, my mental energy. Automation is key, okay? If you can automate something, please do. Like genuinely, if you can automate something, please do. I'm gonna get a robot hoover at some stage. Do I like hoovering? Absolutely not. I don't like vacuuming my apartment. That's boring. I don't like doing that. But yes, I mean, I still do it obviously because cleaning is important to have a clean environment. But yeah, one day I'll get a robot hoover. So automate everything that you can automate. Automation is key because I don't find it fulfilling to manually go and move money around to my investments. I don't find it fulfilling to like hoover my floor. Okay, those things don't fulfill me, but they're necessary. So if you can automate them, then do. The next thing and the last thing that I want you to remember here is that there is no right way to do this, okay? Your fulfilling life might look very different to someone else's, and that's completely okay. So when I said at the start of the video, you need to determine exactly what fulfills you, there's no right answer to that. Okay, so for one person, it might be fulfilling to like, you know, save up like for a couple of years and then quit their job and then like travel the world, okay? And for someone else, it might be I'm not mentioning this because like I have any experience of it or anything, but it might be fulfilling for you to have the stability of a job and travel on the weekends and in your time off, okay? So those are two different things. And for someone else, again, it might be fulfilling to just not travel at all because that's not something that interests them, okay? So I've known people in all of these situations, and that's just one example, but there's no right way to go about this, okay? There's no, you should find this fulfilling. Like, if you don't do this, then you are like a bad person, okay? And, you know, to some extent, it's about compatibility, okay? So like, you know, you might have a circle of friends who are all like super into, I don't know, basketball or something, and that's like their whole life. And if someone who wasn't into basketball, like, you know, I'm making an example here, but, you know, it can be, it can feel like you have to do certain things to fulfill yourself if everyone around you is also doing that, but like you don't. And if you find something that it fulfills you, but you feel like you're missing out on other stuff, maybe you just need to reevaluate your social circle. I don't know, I went off on a rant there, but like find people who are compatible with you and have the same kind of like passions and fulfilling stuff in their life. And like obviously diversity in friendship groups is really, really important as well. I'm not saying like you have to hang out with people who are identical to you in every single way, but if you have general like shared interests, this is common sense, I fear. Why am I talking about this? There's no right way to do this, okay? Your fulfilling life might look different to someone else's. Neither of you's wrong, you're just different, okay? And you should each benefit from focusing on your own shit. Like, seriously, deal with your own shit. Like, I'm not even kidding here. If you're worrying about people, what other people are doing, like, whether their life is more fulfilling than yours, you're wasting your time. Figure out what fulfills you. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer to that. Literally, as long as you're not hurting anyone, there is no right or wrong answer to that. So there's no right way to do this. I'm not going to come on here and be like, oh, you have to do this, 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 and this, just because I do it and I'm a productivity person. I'm not even a productivity person. I just like talking about it. I'm just a big nerd. Like, it's not even a thing. I don't know. This is a rant now. I'm going to stop it here. There's no right way to do this. What fulfills you is what fulfills you. And if it doesn't, then it's okay to let it go. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, go find what fulfills you. Get it done. Bye.